Prioritizing your time is essential to success. You cannot work on everything at once and expect to get anything done. You have to determine what is the most important task and focus on that. Along with, where does one start? When not only do you want to focus on your goals, but also need to take into consideration of taking care of the family and make sure the rent is paid. Hello, fellow entrepreneurs. S.W.McCall here. The goal I'm personally trying to obtain at the moment is trying to prioritize my YouTube and be consistent with putting out high quality content. As always, please subscribe and hit that little bell button to ensure that you don't miss any of my tips and tricks. Without further ado, here are tips and tricks on prioritizing your tasks. Tip number 1. In order for you to better prioritize your time and ensure that you're getting the most important tasks done, you need to start with figuring out what are all the tasks that you're looking to complete. This is why the first thing that you are going to want to do is create a list of all the tasks that you're looking to complete. When doing so, it is important that you make sure to add a due date and a time frame to each task so that you don't just push it off. And don't worry, nothing in this list is 100% set in stone. You'll be able to adjust it later accordingly. Remember, the important thing here is just to make sure that you have all your tasks written down and a deadline, so you at least have an idea on when you'd like to have it completed. Tip number 2. In order to better manage your time and prioritize your tasks that you need to complete, you want to use the Eisenhower Matrix. This is a helpful tool that can be used to separate tasks by importance and urgency. What's really cool about this tool is that it's pretty straightforward to use as well. What you do is first you draw a box and you divide it into 4 separate boxes with a cross. Next, you're going to look at the task and ask yourself if it is urgent and important. If it is, write it in box 1. That is your to-do box. If it doesn't meet this criteria, then you need to ask yourself, is it important and not urgent? If this is the case, then you put it in the second box, aka the schedule box. And if not, you need to ask yourself if this is urgent but not important. If this is the case, then you're going to put it into the third box, which you're going to call the delegate box. And finally, if it doesn't meet any of the criteria of any of the boxes previously stated, then you'll put it in the fourth box, which is what we call the delete box. The Eisenhower Matrix is a very useful tool, and I strongly recommend it to anyone who is trying to be more effective with prioritization. So yeah, give it a shot, as it makes a massive difference. Tip number 3. When it comes to taking prioritization to the next level, I'm strongly going to recommend not only utilizing the Eisenhower Matrix, but also implementing this other powerful tool, which is referred to by Rory Bandit, the author of Procrastinating on Purpose, as the 5 choices to multiply your time. Now this tool is somewhat similar to the Eisenhower Matrix. The downside is that I feel that it's not as organized, but the plus side is that it grants you a few extra steps that honestly make a huge difference. With that being said, that is why I'm recommending combining the 2 of them together. So the way that you use the 5 choices to multiply your time is to look at your task that you're trying to complete and ask yourself, can I eliminate this? If not, then you need to look at it and see if it's automatable. If that's not possible, then you need to see if you can delegate it. If you can't do that, then you need to see if you can procrastinate it or put it off till later. And then if you answer no to all the other questions, then you need to concentrate on it and focus on knocking it out. Now there are a few ways that you can combine this with the Eisenhower Matrix. One way is to add automate into the box with delegation, and then utilize the matrix that you're looking at to organize your tasks in bulk. After you have the task figured out, you can just use the 5 choices list to address any other task that pops up to quickly figure out what box it should belong in. Tip number 4. After you know not only the tasks that you want to complete, but also when you need to complete them by, my recommendation would be to utilize time blocking. Time blocking is the process of breaking up your schedule into hour increments to ensure that you are completing any goals that you set. By setting time blocks for specific tasks, you'll be able to better plan and organize your time. You'll also be able to make sure that you are giving priority to the tasks that are most important to you. This will make it much easier to manage your work and to ensure that you are able to complete your tasks that are important to you. Bonus tip here is to make sure that you're also utilizing the Pomodoro technique with the time blocking for maximum effectiveness, as most human brains work more efficiently in short bursts rather than long stretches. And tip number 5. Another thing that you can do to make it easier for you to prioritize and plan your work, believe it or not, is multitasking and grouping tasks. Now, be cautious when doing this, as it can hinder you more than help you if it's done wrong. What I mean by this is multitasking and grouping tasks together can be helpful as long as you're not trying to do 2 tasks that require mental focus and concentration at the same time. For example, if you try to write an essay while watching a TV show, it is either going to take forever or it's just not going to make any sense. But on the flip side, you can watch a TV show while typically doing the dishes, and you'd be able to get the dishes done along with retaining most, if not all, of what you watched. When doing this, try not only to identify the things that you can do at the same time, but also try to group your similar tasks together. An example of this is like when I'm trying to record YouTube videos. When I do that, I try to record everything for the week the same day, as typically I already have everything set up. And after getting started, an example of this is whenever I'm recording YouTube videos and I try to record everything in the same day, as typically I already have everything set up. And after getting started, I tend to hit a point of workflow. These have been 5 ways to help prioritize your time and tasks. If you found this helpful, please subscribe so you don't miss any of our other tips and tricks. If you have any other questions or comments, please feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I will answer what I can. Also, if you watched this video up until this point, you're most likely focused on being as productive as possible. So make sure that you watch this video right here on how to stay motivated and focused with your goals immediately, as we cover some more tips and tricks on getting started and keeping momentum with those goals. As always, I'm rooting for you.